Welcome back. In the last class, we have been discussing about some of the important things that has to be kept in mind while dealing with the preparation of final accounts, either the conversion method or the first one, statement of affairs method. The points which we were discussing, actually, the most of the part will be a greater tip for dealing with problems relating to conversion method. We have learned about those things in your plus 1 classes, plus 2 classes. Anyway, let us brush up those areas. Previously, we have discussed about how to find the amount of capital that has to be shown in the final balance sheet, or otherwise known as final statement of affairs, and how to find net purchases, net sales, and how to show the actual amount of debtors in the balance sheet. All these points are just a tip for understanding and for familiarization. The actual concept regarding each of these areas will be cleared while explaining the practical question. Under that situations only you can get a clear picture. Even though I am explaining a lot, you will get a clear picture once we will be dealing with practical questions. And we also learned about how to find the amount of bad debts, because this is very important. Not only this one, all the points are important. This one is important while preparing training profit and loss account, especially in profit and loss account, where you have to show the amount of bad debts. So this is the steps that has to be kept in mind while dealing with preparation of training profit and loss account. Let us continue with that. Next one, how to find actual expenses during the year. It's an important one. So actual expenses means expenses that has occurred during the period or during the financial year. And why there is a need for finding the actual expense during the year? The concept is while dealing with a practical question, or where you have to prepare a trading profit and loss balance sheet, you will be given some of the information regarding transactions, and the transaction includes certain specific transactions that may not relate to the particular financial year. So in such situation, we only consider those transactions or amount that belongs to that particular financial year. For example, if you are dealing with a question regarding trading profit and loss balance sheet, anything itself, if it relates to 2020, we should consider transactions that relate to 2020 only. We can't consider any of the transactions relating to 2019 or 2021, because we have learned one of the important principles of accounting is that you should consider transaction that belongs to or that relates to that particular financial year. All the expenses, all the incomes, it should match to each other. So let us come back to it. How to find actual expenses? In the questions, expenses will be given. Apart from that, in the adjustments, there are certain items will be there. Closing outstanding, there will be opening outstanding. In the other cases, it will be opening prepaid or closing prepaid. So before we go into opening and closing, let us familiarize OS. We don't use abbreviations like this. For the time being, I am using only. Please kindly avoid abbreviations in examinations. Expand these. So closing outstanding, opening outstanding. So let us familiarize what is meant by outstanding and prepaid. I hope you all know what is the meaning of outstanding and prepaid. Outstanding means any of the amount which we have been paid for the current period, it is pending. And prepaid means sometimes you might have paid an amount in advance, that is known as prepaid, and what meaning of, and also the meaning of outstanding. So in the question you may come across questions means adjustments where you will be given outstanding details of outstanding expenses. Outstanding expenses can be shown in the given in the question, or a prepaid expenses can be given in the question, or both the cases can be given in the question. Most likely you will be given any one of the case. Either it will be a case of outstanding situations or prepaid situation. So I am showing all the items in one symbol or single format itself. So outstanding or prepaid, whatever it is, you will be given opening, closing like that. So how we are going to deal with opening and closing? Do we have to take the opening or do we have to take the closing? Which one has to be neglected or which one has to be deducted? There are certain rules regarding that. That has to be kept in mind. So let us discuss about outstanding items. So in the question you will be given outstanding, opening outstanding and closing outstanding. Listen very carefully. Opening outstanding and closing outstanding. So let us assume that opening date, let it be 1st January whatever the year, and it is shown that opening outstanding is rupees 100. Whatever may be the expenses, I am just saying there was 100 rupees as outstanding on the first day of the financial year. So I am asking whether that 100 belongs to that particular period or the previous year. Surely it belongs to previous year, that's why it was outstanding to the current year and it was not met in the last year. So it should have been met in which year? In the previous year. It must have been paid in previous year and it should not be considered in the current financial year. So an opening outstanding doesn't belong to the current period. So whenever there is opening outstanding given in the question, you need to deduct it from the expenses, because the expenses is the amount that consists of opening outstanding or closing outstanding or whatever it is. So when there is opening outstanding, you have to deduct from the actual expenses, because this opening outstanding doesn't belong to the current period. We only consider items that belongs to the present period. So opening outstanding is actually an item that belongs to the previous period, so it has to be deducted. And at the same time, add closing outstanding. Closing outstanding means there was an amount that was still not paid even at the end of the period, so the payment will be made in the next year. Okay, even if it is made in the next year, actually that expenses belong to which year? The current period. So should we have to consider in the present statement? Yes, it should have to be, because it belongs to the current period. So closing outstanding has to be added. That is a concept with regard to opening outstanding and closing outstanding. I hope you have understand the concept. Think like that. Any item that belongs to that period will be added, otherwise it will be deducted. That is a concept with regard to expenses, especially outstanding and prepaid. Let us discuss about the prepaid expense. In this question you can see that opening prepaid is added. So opening prepaid means, just assume 1st January 2020 or whatever it is. On 1st January there is a prepaid amount of something. So that amount is paid in advance. Paid in advance means on 1st January it paid in advance means, or it might have been paid in the previous year. It might have been paid in the previous year. So that payment was made for the current period, but the payment was made in the previous year. So should we consider it in our present financial statement? Yes, it should have to be, because even though it was paid in the previous year, that is why it is came as an opening balance in the present year. The payment was made in the previous year, and the payment belongs to the present year. So it should be added along with the current expenses. So any prepaid expenses should be added to the expenses given in the question, because opening prepaid means the payment was made in the previous year, so it became the opening balance of the current year, and the payment is made for the current, and it was made in the previous year, so it should be added. Likewise, closing prepaid means you have paid in advance for some expenses by the end or the last date of the current year. So who is going to pay something in advance for the last date of the current year? It should have been made for the next year. So actually that was to be made for the next year. So should you consider that amount in the current period? No, we can't, because that expense belongs to the next year. That is why we are deducting closing prepaid. See, less closing prepaid. Once you understand the concept, you need not have to worry about anything. So add closing outstanding if it is there in the question, or opening prepaid if it is there in the question, less opening outstanding and closing prepaid. In the question, you need not come across a case where you will be given both opening and closing of prepaid expenses or outstanding expenses. Any one of the case will be given. For the understanding purpose only, I am showing all the items in a single format. If you familiarize or remember this format, you can do this area, this particular adjustment in any problem. So that is with regard to the expenses. Similarly, it will be followed in the case of an income also. So just familiarize this one. Next one, how to find the actual value of the asset. Actual value of the asset. Why we need to find the actual value of the asset? Because in the financial statement, we have to prepare trading, profit and loss account and balance sheet. In the balance sheet, there will be asset side. Asset side consists of fixed assets and current assets. While noting down fixed assets, you definitely have to adjust depreciation. So actual assets that has to be shown in the final statement is done after deducting depreciation. So remember that in the balance sheet, remember to adjust depreciation. And finally, how to find actual expenses during the year. So you may find it confusing that here you have written how to find actual expenses during the year, and here also how to find actual expenses during the year. The thing is, in the question, if the university or who are conducting the test, if they want to confuse you, they can give the two situations, either this one or this one. So what is the difference between this situation and this situation? Because in both questions, how to find actual expenses during the year, here also how to find actual expenses during the year. But here computation, see steps here is different when compared to this one. So what is the difference between these two cases? Anyway, the question demands same, that is what is the actual expense during the year, and the expenses will be given in the question. Here also expenses will be given in the question, but here some differences are there. Likewise here also different. So what is the difference? This format is followed whenever you come across a question where any of the outstanding or prepaid balances is given. That is, whenever the question given is stating about opening balances or closing balances of any of the outstanding or prepaid items, you need to follow this method. I hope you have understand the concept. And sometimes in the question they may not specify anything about opening and closing balance, but in the adjustment they merely state that during the period there was certain amount as outstanding. There is only one amount will be given, so don't worry. Whenever there is an outstanding expense, it has to be added to the concerned main expense. Whenever there is a prepaid expense, you will have to deduct it from the actual expense. Actual expense means or the main expense given in the question. That is the concept. So I hope you understand the difference between these two cases, even though the question remains the same. So here I have tried my best to show almost some of the cases that might come in your question. So just familiarize or understand any of these cases, and we will be discussing in detail all these cases in some of the practical problems which we are going to discuss in the coming sessions. So I hope you have understand. If you have any queries with regarding to that, please contact me. So next one. So I hope you have understand the previous cases. So now let us deal with the main problems with regard to conversion. So in the conversion case, you will be given some of the transactions or information regarding financial transaction done during a financial period. and usually it will be in the form of a single entry system, and on the basis of available information you need to prepare trading profit and loss account and balance sheet. But the thing is that even though you are familiar with the trading profit and loss account balance sheet and it is very easy, the thing is you have to make necessary changes in the information given in the question in such a way that you have to prepare certain ledger accounts. And we have learned about what are the some of the important ledger accounts that has to be prepared in each of these cases. So let us deal with that. Next case, Ashok keeps his book on a single entry system basis. During the year 2016 he kept a cash book which shows the following information. So let us familiarize the cash book that was kept by Ashok. Received from debtors 20,000, overdraft on 1/1/2016 is 1,500. Additional capital introduced 5,000, paid to creditors 18,000. Loan from Chandran at 10% on 1/7/2016 is 25,000. Here general expenses is 2,500, salaries 9,000, wages 6,000, drawings 3,000. The following were the balances on 1st January 31st December 1st January and 31st December 2016. Opening balance and closing balance is with regard to various items: sundry debtors, sundry creditors, furniture, stock, and apart from that there are certain other informations like discount allowed and received amount to rupees 1,500, depreciate furniture at 10%, provide half year's interest on Chandran's loan, and provide interest on capital 1,500. So these are the information that was given in the question. On the basis of this you have to prepare certain ledger accounts before we go into the trading profit and loss balance sheet. So from now on we will be discussing different cases, and in each of the cases there will be new adjustments. So go thoroughly with the cases which we are discussing. If you didn't get anything, means idea regarding any of the steps or adjustment which we have discussed, please contact personally. You can ask any queries at any time. So here there are certain details. So first of all you need to familiarize each of the individual items given in the question. What does that item mean? Is there any issues or queries that with regard to any of these items? First one, received from debtors. That is a certain amount has been received from debtors, no such issues. Additional capital introduced 5,000. We know it has to be considered in some places in opening statement of affairs and in the balance sheet. You have to consider this one or like that. Next one, loan from Chandran at 10% on 1/7/2016, an amount 25,000. Remember, whenever any credit transaction means whenever you acquire loan from someone, whenever you get a bank loan, whenever you lend money from creditors, suppliers, if any sort of such thing comes, along with a certain percentage rate is given, it means that there is some sort of interest that has to be paid. In this question already it is in the additional information it is mentioned that provide half year's interest on Chandran's loan. Sometimes it may not be given in the question. In that case there is certain percentage is given in the question. You have to give or consider interest on certain loan. We will come to that. Anyway, whenever rate is given, please do consider that whether there is any adjustment with regard to that. Always think like that. Whenever there is a rate, go through the adjustments, whether there is any issues with regard to that. And remember the date. We will come to that. Anyway, remember these two factors. Next one, overdraft on 1/1/2016 is 1,500. So what is the meaning of this? It means a lot. Even though it is not mentioned in the question, it means a lot. Overdraft. What is meant to be overdraft? if you are a businessman, if you have an account in a bank, you may be familiar, or you may be having a cordial relation with the bank and you. So the bank manager or the bank staff or bank officials will be providing you credit facilities because you are a good businessman. So they will be providing some additional credit facilities in the form of overdraft. So overdraft on 1/1/2016, the hidden meaning is the opening balance of cash. And if whether the overdraft is an asset related item or a liability related item, overdraft is a liability related item. So whenever an overdraft in an opening balance is given, it means credit balance of cash or bank, whatever it is. We have learned that cash or bank is an asset item, so the account will be having an opening balance in the debit. Fine, everything is fine, but some situation it may not be like that. We may not have an opening balance, we might have lent it from the banks or like that, so the opening balance will be sometimes credit. So the overdraft on 1/1/2016 means the opening balance of cash, that is the meaning of that, and it has to be shown in the credit side because overdraft means it's a creditor. Next one, paid to creditors, we all know that is general expenses, fine. Salaries also we know, wages, drawings. Opening balance of certain items is given. Make sure whether how many of these items require an account. Whenever there is an opening closing, you have to prepare account. It doesn't mean that you have to prepare account for all these. We have to prepare for account for debtors, we have to prepare account for creditors, you have to prepare for cash. But you may think that there is no opening and closing balance of cash, but in the question balance of cash is given. See, opening balance of cash is given, so you definitely have to prepare cash flow. And do we have to prepare account for furniture? If there is any transactions with regard to furniture, you may have to prepare, otherwise you need not have to prepare. Stock, opening 9,000, 21,000. You may think that from the beginning itself I have been mentioning whenever opening closing is given, you have to prepare account like that. It is not like that. We need to prepare account because we have learned about what are the accounts that has to be prepared. That is cash account, debtors account, creditors account, bills payable, bills receivable. We haven't learned anything about stock account. Unless if there is any special adjustments or additional information with regard to stock, you may have to prepare. Otherwise, neglect it. Neglect means you need not have to prepare account. You need to consider it, don't neglect it. Okay. Add information, discount allowed and received 1,000 and 500. Usually discount allowed means related to whom? Discount allowed and discount received related to debtors and creditors. See, so it has to be adjusted. Depreciate furniture has to be depreciation. Provide half interest for Chandran's loan, you have to give that. Provide interest on capital 1,500. Here amount is directly given, so you need not have to worry about which amount has to be computed. Sometimes in the question they may specify a rate. Provide interest on capital at 10% or 20% like that. So how you are going to provide interest? Because in the question there will be two capitals, opening capital as well as closing capital likewise. Remember, interest on capital is given on opening capital. We will come to that part anyway. So let us go to the practical case. For first, we are discussing the first case. That's why I have been explaining each and every point. From now on, I won't be explaining each individual cases for the first time only. I'm just giving you a clear idea regarding how to deal or how to understand a question. So this is how you have to familiarize a question. Next one. Let us prepare certain accounts. So you have to prepare trading profit and loss balance sheet. So before we go into trading profit and balance sheet, you need to prepare some ledger accounts. So let us begin with, this is a question which we have discussed now. For the sake of computation, we are showing here. Let us begin with cash. It is the most important account. In almost all the cases, you may begin with the cash. There is no rule regarding you should begin with. There is no such rule. You can either begin with the cash, you can either begin with debtors or creditors, whatever it is. That depends upon the nature of the question. Sometimes certain accounts has to be prepared at first. that we will discuss that during the practical cases. Anyway, there are no rules regarding which account has to be prepared first one, cash. I hope you all know what is the format of preparing a ledger. It consists of particulars amount, actual ledger account consists of date, particulars, journal folio amount, date, particulars, journal folio amount. But in a final account situation, it doesn't specify regarding date or journal folio, so at least write particulars amount. You need to write in a very clean box, T-shaped box or T-shaped account. Cleanliness is of great importance. If you write down amounts very neatly and correctly, it will create a good appreciation in the minds of the invigilator as well as the examiner, the persons who correct your paper. So always maintain a clean handwriting and a clean answer. So let us begin with opening balance. In the question, opening balance is given. Please don't say that there is no opening or closing in the balances given. Read through the question very wisely. Overdraft, if there is any date associated with overdraft, it related to cash and it will be the balance. Since 1/1/2016 is the opening balance, see, opening balance is 1/1/2016, closing is 31/12/2016. So 1/1/2016 opening balance 1500. Next one, go through the transactions that has to be recorded in the cash book. First one, received from debtors. Let us begin with right. Paid to creditors 18,000. So you know how to write the items in concerned sites. Creditors is a payment made to creditors, so creditors account debited to cash and it will be shown as in the cash book by creditors. Next one, general expenses 2,500. It is also a payment, that is reduction in the cash, so it will be shown in the credit side of the cash book. Any items that increases the cash balance will be shown in the debit side. Any items or transactions that leads to decrease in the cash balance will be shown in the credit side. I hope you all know the rules and concept. Next one, salaries 9,000. It is a payment, so it will be shown the credit side. Again, wages 6,000 has been paid during the year. It is again a expense, so it is shown the credit side. And next one, drawings during the year 3,000. It is also another expense or reduction in the amount of cash, so it will be shown here. And next one, received from debtors. So now an increase in cash. So whenever you received any amount from someone, cash account debtor to whatever it is. Since here it is received from debtors, so it will be cash account debtor to debtors. So cash book to debtors 20,000. Next one, additional capital introduced during the year. It is in the form of cash. And remember, here it is specifically mentioned that cash book will show the following informations. Only the items that relating to this here has to be considered. No other information should be taken into consideration. So 5,000, it is an additional capital, means capital introduced in the business, so there is an increase in cash. So 5,000. Next one, loan from Chandran. We have acquired a loan from Chandran. Whenever we acquire a loan, even though our liability is increased, our cash balance is increased. So cash account debtor to loan, Chandran's loan 25,000. And if you go through other information given in the question, these items will not come. Otherwise, if there is an opening or closing of cash is there, it has to be considered. Otherwise, neglect it. And in the other information, go through it if there are any transactions relating to cash. So let us take the balances. If you go through it, you can see that this side is having a total amount of 50,000, and if you go through this side, you will not get 50,000. And you know the basic rules of balancing an account. But add the amounts of both sides. The debit or credit column, any of the column that is having the highest value will be shown as a total, and it will be shown in the both side. Here debit balance is higher, surely, so credit side will be lower. Identify the difference amount that will be balance carried out. So 10,000. So you don't get confused like that. Here opening balance is written in this side and closing balance is written in this side. Usually you have learned that one opening balance in one side, closing balance in the other side, like that. here it will not be like that, because in the opening we were in short of cash, but by running the business we have earned a cash balance of 10,000. So these type of situations also might come. So now we have successfully completed cash book. Next, which account has to be prepared? Let us begin with next important one, debtors. Similarly, the same pattern, particulars, amount, and go through the question where the opening and closing balance of debtors is given. See, 12,000 and 26,000. So let us write down the balances in the appropriate side. Since it is an asset, the opening balance will be a debit balance, so it will be shown to balance brought down 12,000, and the closing balance is also given in the question, so by balance carry down 26,000. So we have recorded opening and closing. Next one, go through all the items whether there are any of the transactions that are relating to debtors. Received from debtors 20,000. So by cash 20,000, the transaction was cash account debtor to debtors, so in the debtors account it will be by cash 20,000. Next, go through any of these items whether anything that is related to debtors. Here there are no other items. In the balances we already take other information. Discount allowed and received amount rupees 1,500. So which discount allowed is 1,000, discount received is 500. That is the meaning of the sentence. So which one is related to debtors account? Discount allowed or discount received? Discount allowed means whenever you allow a discount. In what situation you are going to allow a discount to someone else? Surely it will be a debtor. We can provide discount, or we can allow discount only to our debtors, and we can receive discount from whom? From our creditors, like that. So discount allowed amount is 1,000. So by discount allowed 1,000. I hope we have recorded all the items that is specified in the question in the respective account. So let us balance this account. First of all, identify the totals of both sides. Here it is 12,000, here it is more than 12,000, so definitely this side will be the bigger value. Find out the total, so it is 47,000. Write the 47,000 in the other column also. Now we have found out the total. Next, you need to make sure whether there is any difference in this side also. Definitely there will be a difference, because here it is only 12,000, here 47,000. So difference between 12,000 and 47,000, you will get 35,000. So this 35,000 will be the sales during the year. We have learned in the one of the previous session that debtors account is specifically prepared for finding out sales during the year. And what kind of sale, whether it is a cash sale or a credit sale. Since it is a debtors account, how a debtor is formed? Whenever a person come to our business and buy our goods and services on credit, at that point that person will be our debtor. So the debtors account will show what kind of sales? Credit sales. Remember that. So I hope you have understand the concept. Next one, next account. Which account has to be prepared? Next one we have learned about. As per the given information, next important account is sundry creditors. So let us begin with that. Sundry creditors, it is a liability item, so the opening balance will be in the credit side and the closing balance will be in the debit side. So the respective amounts has been taken: 6,000 opening, 7,500 closing. So now just go through all the details given in the question, whether anything that is related to creditors. Received from debtors, we can take that, we already taken. Additional capital not related to us. Loan from Chandran, not at all related, it is loan from some person. Creditor is anything, something, and loan from Chandran is another thing. They are two different cases. Overdraft we already taken, paid it to creditors 18,000. We have made a payment to creditors. Whenever a payment is made to creditors, what is the journal entry? Creditors account debtor to cash. So it will be to cash 18,000. General expense not all related to creditors, salaries, not wages, not drawings, not like this you have to go through the question in the examination. You go through each individual item whether it is related. Then in that case, if you go through like that, you will not miss or skip any of the amounts. Usually students make a mistake in the form of mugging up or missing any of the figures. They will go through all the some there, some here, like that. In that case, you will be missing some of the items. If you go through like this, whether it is like that, you will definitely include all the items. So we have gone through all these transactions. Next one, opening closing. We already have taken creditors opening closing. Other information is not related to us. Go through the information, additional information. Discount allowed, that is related to debtors received. Discount received means related to creditors. It has to be shown. So whenever we receive discount, there is a reduction in creditors account. Whenever there is an increase in creditors, amount will be shown in the right side. If there is a decrease in creditors, it will be shown in the left side. So the entry is creditors account debted to discount 500. So we have taken that. Next one, depreciation not at all related. Interest on loan anything, and interest on capital we have no other relation. So we have almost recorded all the items with regard to creditors. So let us balance this account. You can see that in both sides amounts are different. It will not get tally. Find out the amount that is having highest in, whether it is in debit column or credit column. Definitely it is debit column. So the total is 26,000. So it has to be shown in the other side also. And once you write down the total, we take the difference between 6,000 and 26,000. So it will be 20,000. So why we are preparing creditors account? We are preparing creditors account to find the purchases during the year. And what kind of purchases? Just like the sales, here we are preparing creditors account to find out credit purchases. So we have successfully prepared all the accounts. And next, you need to prepare one more thing: opening statement of affairs. Apart from preparing cash books, sundry debtors account, creditors account, in some situation bills received and bills payable, and you also have to prepare statement of affairs account. This is the copy of the question for the reference. So let us begin with statement of affairs, because you need to identify opening capital. It is definitely an important item that is to be needed while preparing trading profit and loss account balance sheet. So once you prepare the missing ledger account, that is cash book, debtors, creditors, let us go through balance sheet. Balance sheet. So what all items has to be taken? So first of all, understand it is a opening statement of affairs, otherwise known as balance sheet as on opening date. Here it is 1/1/2016. So 1st January 2016. So what all items has to be taken? For preparing an opening balance sheet, you need not have to go through all the individual items. Just go through the opening balances given in the question. Apart from that, if there is any other items that is given in the question in the form of an opening balance, just like the overdraft given here, it is not shown in the opening closing balances this area, it is shown separately. So it doesn't mean that not only this one, this is the most important area you have to look for while preparing opening balance sheet. Apart from that, just go through individual items if there are any items that are specified as opening, or either it will be given in the form of a opening date or in the form of opening balance. So first of all, let us write down all the opening balances. First one, debtors 12,000. Creditors, bank overdraft 1,500. Then let us write down first that term. Opening balance, it is related to opening balance, so it is shown in the opening balance sheet. Since it is a bank overdraft, it is shown in the creditors. Next one, furniture 15,000. Stock 9,000. Creditors 6,000. And just go through all these items whether there is any of the missing figures. I hope we have recorded all the items. So will you get a tally amount? No, in the opening balance sheet you will never get a tally amount, because why we are preparing an opening balance sheet? We are preparing an opening balance sheet to find out the opening capital. So the balance amount will be opening capital. For just like balancing an account which you have done here, find out the totals of both sides. I hope the asset side is having a bigger value, that is 36,000. Write down the value in both sides. here there will be a difference. That difference will definitely be the opening capital during the period, 28,500. So we have prepared the opening balance also. So now right now we have obtained all the missing figures that are important while preparing a trading profit and loss account balance sheet. Now we can go for trading profit and loss account balance sheet. So let us begin with that. Trading profit and loss account for the year ended 31st December 2016. If you have any confusion regarding what has to be written here, go through the question, find out the last year given in the question, write down that. So we are writing trading profit and loss for the first time. How a trading profit and loss is prepared? There is a certain format for that. Even though all the format are not followed correctly, at least try to follow the initial steps, because every trading profit and loss account begins with opening stock. So try to maintain that. Opening, there is a certain format for the trading. Opening stock and the right side, last one closing stock, sales in the right side, purchase in the left side. There is a certain pattern. Try to maintain that. After completing the gross profit area, you can follow any method, any order. Means expenses can be written in any order, but try to maintain the order in the beginning stage. So opening stock, trading profit and loss begins with an opening stock. So where is the opening stock? It is directly given in the question, 9,000. Write down 9,000. Next one, closing stock. Because 9,000 with 9,000 we also have the details of closing stock. So write down both the amounts at first. Next, what is the next important item you have to consider? Let us go through the accounts which we have prepared. First one is cash account. Cash account is prepared to identify closing balance. So it doesn't have any relation with the trading profit and loss account. Next one, debtors account. Why we prepare debtors account? In order to identify credit sales. Since there are no other information regarding cash sales given in the question or any sales returns given in the question, you can surely take this 35,000 as sales during the year. And after the debtors account, we also prepared creditors account. Why we prepared creditors account? In order to identify purchases. So that is a concept you have to follow. Now let us go through the question. If each individual item, anything related to trading account. First one, received from debtors, not related to trading. Additional capital introduced, not related to trading. Loan, not at all related. Overdraft, not at all related. Paid to creditors, no. General expense is related to P&L account, not trading account. Salary is also related to P&L account, not trading. Wages, 6,000. So while preparing trading account, make sure whenever you take any item, make sure whether there are any other additional informations or adjustments with regard to that particular item. And if there is any additional information or adjustment with regard to particular item, you have to consider right now. So wages, we have no other information with regard to wages, so you can write down wages 6,000. After that, drawings during the year, drawings doesn't have any relation with the trading account, so leave it. And in the adjustments also, there are no other items that is related to trading account. So now we can go for the accounts which we have prepared. Cash account, there is no other information. The remaining only informations are debtors account, creditors account. So first one, sales 35,000. Since there are no cash sales in the account or sales returns in the account, this amount can be taken directly. If there is any sales return given in the question, make necessary adjustments with the sales. Next one, creditors account is prepared to identify purchases. So to purchases 20,000. So now right now we have recorded all the items that are related to trading account. Now let us balance this account. I hope you know how to balance an account and especially a trading account. Find the total of both sides, identify the biggest value in which side, write down the biggest value in both sides. See, here is 56,000 in the right side, so we are showing it both sides. There is a difference in the left side, so that amount will be the gross profit during the year. So it will be shown as to gross profit carried down, because here it is having the difference. So the difference amount will be given carried down. Correspondingly, you have to show the other balance also. Gross profit brought down 21,000. because then we are going towards a P&L account. So P&L account has to be begin with the balance of the trading account. That is why by gross profit brought down 21,000. Right now we have to go again through all the information for items that belongs to P&L account. So from the beginning, let us go through received from debtors, additional capital, loan, overdraft, pay to creditors, general expenses. So before that, there is one more thing. Always make sure if there are any adjustment with regard to that. Here it is mentioned that loan from Chandran at 10% on 1/7/2016. In the adjustment, there is information that provide half year's interest on Chandran's loan. So how you are going to provide the loan? Here rate is given 10%. So 25,000 into 10% you will get 2,500, and you have to give it for half year. So half year interest will be 1,250. That is a half of 2,500. I hope you know how to find the interest, because here the loan was taken on 1st June 2016. So we have to provide interest for the next 6 months. That is mentioned here. Provide half year interest on Chandran's loan. For 1 year, 25,000 into 10%, you will get 2,500. So half of 2,500 will be 1,250. So interest on loan has to be considered. So we have adjusted this interest also. So whenever you go through all these individual items, make sure whether there are any adjustment with regard to that. Next one, general expenses 2,500. There are no adjustment with regard to that. Next one, salaries 9,000. There are no adjustment with regard to that. Wages we have already taken, so don't worry about it. Drawings, it is not belongs to here. Next one, discount allowed and discount received. It is an additional information, but even though it has been taken in one of the accounts, it surely has to be considered in the P&L account. Discount received and discount allowed, both are having two different natures. Discount allowed is an expense, 1,000, so it is shown in the debit side. Discount received is in the form as an income, it is shown in the 500 in the credit side. Next one, important item, depreciate furniture at 10%. What is the value of furniture? It is given 15,000 in both years, so don't worry about which year amount has to be taken. So 15,000 into 10%, you will get 1,500. 15,000 into 10 by 100, you will get 1,500. Next one, provide half year interest on Chandran's loan. We have already taken interest on loan 1,250, and finally interest on capital 1,500. It is an expense, it has to be shown. So interest on capital. So right now we have recorded all the items that related to profit and loss account. Just like the balancing of trading account, you have to balance this side also. So while balancing, make sure to consider the amounts after these totals, these two totals, because I used to see that many students, once after recording all the items of the P&L account, for balancing this P&L account alone, they will add from this 35,000, 21,000, 15, even the 56,000 also been added. So don't make such blunders. Here we are preparing P&L account. P&L is starting from these two items, that is amounts after these two total. So don't take this total. We have to consider amounts after the totals. I hope you all know. I just mentioned it as a part of the explanation. So take the total of both sides, make sure which one is having the bigger value, write down the bigger value. Here this one is bigger, 21,500, so it has to be shown here. If you go through this amount, you can see that there is a certain amount as difference that is considered as profit, because here income side is this one, expenses is this one. Here income is greater than expenses, so we will get profit. When income is greater than expense, there is profit. So net profit during the year is 4,750. So this profit belongs to whom? It belongs to owner. So it has to be considered with the capital. So net profit transferred to capital 4,750. After that, you have to prepare balance sheet. Balance sheet is in the form liabilities, amount, asset, amount. So how you are going to prepare balance sheet? It is also directly given in the question. See, balance sheet closing balance is given because this one is a closing amount. See the dates. This one is 1st January 2016. It is 31st December 2016. So consider the amounts given in this side. So let us begin with first one. Bank balance. Bank balance is first account which we have prepared was cash flow. Here the closing balance is 10,000. Next one, after the next account we prepared was sundry debtors account. Its balance is 26,000. So 26,000. We are taking the closing balance of each of these accounts. Next account which we have prepared is creditors account. The closing balance is 7,500. Next one is capital, because we have prepared next balance sheet is this one, capital. This balance sheet was prepared to identify the capital. So we will begin with 28,500. Remember, we have learned about a format regarding the actual capital that has to be shown in the balance sheet. See, we are doing a practical example. We will begin with opening capital. It can be seen here, 28,500. Add any additional capital made during the year. See, go through the adjustment whether there are any information regarding additional capital. See, additional capital 5,000. So additional capital has to be added. After that, you have to add interest on capital. Make sure whether there is any interest with regard to that. See, here there is an interest on capital 1,500. After that, add net profit 4,750. Don't worry about the item that has to be removed. These are the common item in almost all the cases. Opening capital plus additional capital plus interest on capital plus net profit. It is a common format. So you have to just go through whether these items are there in the question or computation. So once you had all these, you have to deduct drawings during the year. Just go through the question whether there are any drawings given in the question. See, drawings 3,000. So drawings 3,000 is there. There are no other further adjustments. So after adjusting all these, you will get the amount of capital 36,750. So don't worry about the form here, computation written here. Always in all the cases in the final balance sheet, the amount of capital, this is the actual capital, this is computed by following this format. Always follow this format. Additional capital, add interest on capital, and net profit less drawings. Sometimes they might give interest on drawings, that has to be deducted. When drawings is deducted, then definitely there will be interest on drawings. So we will discuss about that interest on drawings, and with regard to item, we will discuss each of these cases at that time. So familiarize this pattern. Next one you have to go through. Now go through all the questions. What are the other items that has to be considered? Next one, received from debtors already taken, additional capital already taken, loan from Chandran. Loan from Chandran 25,000. But remember, there is another item with regard to loan. Interest on loan, because in the adjustment it was said that provide half year interest on Chandran's loan. And there is one more thing, whatever items given in the other informations, usually it will be taken in any of these accounts. Remember, there is a rule with regarding to accounting that whenever whatever information or whenever there is an additional information given in the question, it will be shown in both sides or in two occasions. We already have taken the interest on Chandran's loan here. Again, it has to be shown here because it is shown as an additional information. It hasn't been paid during the year, so it is an outstanding. So interest on loan outstanding is 1,250 because it was given in the adjustment. You may think that here there are many other items. Why we haven't gone through all these, but we have taken these items because these informations are given in as an additional information. These are special adjustment cases. It should be considered in the balance sheet. So loan is adjusted. Next one, we have adjusted all these items. Next one, furniture. We have taken all these items. Next one, furniture 15,000, but there is depreciation with regard to furniture. It is depreciation is given in the additional information, so 1,500 has to be deducted. You will get 13,500. And finally, stock. Stock is there in the question, 21,000. It has to be shown. So we have almost recorded all the items in the concerned accounts and concerned positions. Now just go through the totals of both sides. Definitely you will get the tally amount. Whenever there is any difference, make sure your computations and amount posting is correct. It should tally. So the amount by taking the totals of both sides is 70,500 and 70,500. So we have successfully completed a practical case with regard to this first module. It is a simple question. We will be discussing some of the major adjustments regarding this question. Since this is the first case, that is why we have taken a lot of time for discussing each and individual item. For the coming sessions, we may not be spending more time like this. So I hope you have understand all the cases with regard to that. Familiarize what we have done, how we have done. If you have any queries regarding any of the steps which we have discussed, please let me know. We will discuss about the further cases in the coming session. Until then, go through the case each by each. That's all. Thank you.